Madam Speaker and members, I have long been an advocate of consumer protections and consumer rights, and I'm proud of the work we accomplished in the Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act of 2010 to create a Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Madam Speaker and members, I didn't get elected to the Congress of the United States of America to protect big banks, banks too big to fail, or to protect their shoddy products, criminal schemes that are designed to rip off innocent citizens who go to work every day. I don't know how anybody can come to this floor and represent that the consumers, the workers, the people of this country don't need any protection. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is needed because it is very clear that our current regulatory framework inadequately protects consumers. Just look at the wrongful foreclosures on our veterans, which was exposed by reporters last month and was the subject of a Veterans Affairs hearing last week. You go tell those veterans that they didn't need that protection, that they shouldn't be protected. The proliferation of harmful financial products and practices went unchecked because our banking regulators were tasked with both consumer protection and bank safety and soundness responsibilities. And we've seen that pro-bank, anti-consumer stance won every time. That's why we created the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, to make sure that the consumer voices aren't shouted down by the industry and that an independent agency is beholden to the consumers and not the CEOs of the big financial institutions. Opponents of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau claim we don't need this agency, they say, because the other banking regulators are already charged with consumer protection. This argument doesn't hold water because there are several types of consumer financial products which, because they were offered by non-banks, fall into what may be classified as the shadow banking industry. These products and institutions escape federal regulation, yet often lead to federal problems such as our current economic foreclosure crisis. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau would bring non-banks who offer financial services to and interact with consumers into our regulatory system. Another reason the Cfpb was needed is to protect consumers from complicated products and hidden predatory fees. According to Elizabeth Warren, who is a special advisor to the Treasury on the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, the average credit card offer now comes bundled with more than 100 pages of fine print. Buried within this fine print are provisions about restrictions, teaser rates, and penalties. This fine print makes it nearly impossible for consumers to make informed decisions and pick the credit card or other lending product which is right for them. This leads some borrowers to be trapped in credit cards or loan products with hidden and abusive fees. The Cfpb would resolve this problem by working with the industry to reduce the fine print and hidden fees. We also need Cfpb to provide stability to our financial markets, which are supported by consumer lending. Our current crisis began when collateralized debt obligations and mortgage-backed securities were packed with exotic products, which are known as no-doc loans, some of them, and liar loans. It was exacerbated as consumers were continually squeezed with excessive penalties and fees from bank products, reducing purchasing power and leading families everywhere to make tough decisions. A strong regulator, one which focused solely on consumer safety and championed simple disclosure and products, could have prevented all of this. We need Cfpb. This kind of crisis should never occur again. Amendments to defund Cfpb or to prevent it from doing its work will only hurt Americans' consumers and in turn our economy. So I urge a no vote on these amendments. Madam Speaker and members, I don't know how any elected official could go home and talk to their constituents and tell them they want to limit the funding to the SEC, the cop on the Wall Street block to protect investors, and then add to it. And I don't want you to have any consumer protection. We don't like what has been done. We're against these kinds of regulations. It is baffling. It is not to be understood.
Time's
and
expired.
I believe that in the final analysis, this body will do the right thing.
Ladies, time's
we must
expired.
do the right thing.